Adventures in Teen Bodybuilding. Q&A of the day. We started working out at 14 with our dad. That was the age limit for going to the gym, so we waited with bated breath until we were 14 so we could start going to the gym for the first time. We weren't really that regular. It was more like just such a new experience. We were having fun, just learning how everything worked. We started to get serious at 18. We got really serious when Brandon turned 19 because we had the idea, hey, before you hit 20, I already had, we thought you should enter a teen bodybuilding contest before you get into the adult division. So we concocted that plan, and basically over the course of the next, what was it?
8 months or so?
8 months, we just got Brandon ready. I mean, we did all the research we could. We found what works, what didn't, and he got ready, you know.
We found out what didn't work because so the whole point is gain as much muscle as possible, as much weight as possible. So basically the classic bulking phase, then the cutting phase, getting ready for competitions. I was gonna do 4 months bulking, then 4 months cutting, or 3 months cutting, depending, 4 to 5 months bulking. And initially started trying to gain weight, and started with Klondike bars because the calorie content was so high, and I would have like 2 to 3 a night. And the reason being is that we thought calories were calories. You get the calories in, bunch of calories. Well, I thought calories were calories at that point. So I was like, well, I can get as much calories as possible. I can get like 600 to 700 calories in these Klondike bars right before bed, and that way I'll gain as much weight as possible. So like a week or so went by, and I remember getting looking at myself in the mirror, and yeah, my body fat percentage was rising a lot. So at that point I was like, well, I need to educate myself a lot more to see what calories do what, and what kind of breakdowns you need to actually gain muscle and try to keep as much body fat off as possible while you're bulking. So that's when, we were getting definitely more educated because we were doing research on it. We were looking up how many calories you need for your specific body type, 6'2". At that point it was like 175, 180 or something. So yeah, that's definitely, education was a priority at that point.
And that's the whole thing. The more you're in any environment, the more you learn. It's like they say, you're gonna become an expert at anything if you spend 10 years or 10,000 hours. You can apply the same thing to lifting weights and eating right. It's not necessarily gonna take you anywhere near 10 years or 10,000 hours, but it just takes time to get to know your body, because everybody's body is different. That's the thing. You can listen to people, you can learn from people and apply those, and a lot of the times it works, but you're gonna make little tweaks along the way, which is exactly what we did. The first big tweak being, obviously, you don't just have as many calories as you can all day long, because you turn into a little marshmallow kid, which is what we both turned into. And it wasn't good either. So then we went the other extreme. We're like, well, it's been 4 months, time to start cutting down. So Brandon basically, up until that point, the big no carb thing was the huge phase. So we're like, shit, let's just do that.
No carbs for 4 months.
Carbs, like no
basically
carbs.
Getting in ketosis as much as possible.
Exactly.
At that point, I didn't even know what ketosis was or the dangers behind it. So
yeah, so he spent the next 4 months having 10, 20 carbs a day.
Yeah.
And he got shredded for sure.
Yeah, it worked.
Exactly. So point being, it worked. No, not knowing the dangers it could have presented.
Yeah.
But that was another.
Or how much muscle mass you can actually keep while you're cutting, you can still have carbohydrates, obviously, and that's going to help you keep the hard gains, the hard muscle that you earned on your bulking phase. If you cut too hard, you're going to actually lose a lot of the hard work that you put into your bulking phase, a lot of the muscle. So that's another reason why you want to really be careful adjusting the right amount of carbohydrates, healthy fats, and proteins as well.
And that's what I've learned. You can get into a depressed state when you're constantly in the middle of either bulking or cutting. That's the shittiest place to be, man. I mean, oh, now I'm looking a little too small, I need to bulk up. Oh, now I'm looking a little too chubby, I need to cut down. You just got to stick with one thing. Consistency.
Number one thing.
Exactly. Hey, if you're going to cut down, you're going to get a little smaller. Don't get freaked out. Don't be like, oh God, I'm getting tiny again. My shirts don't fit as tight. I got to start bulking. You'll be in that middle phase all the time. You'll be that one guy who looks decent in a t-shirt and then he takes it off and you've got the chub, you know what I mean? You're just like the marshmallow. Exactly, the marshmallow kid. So
as far as teen bodybuilding goes, I would definitely highly recommend it. Your hormones are higher. The pressure that you put on the muscles and obviously the bones is only going to secrete more calcium and build up, and everything. Your bones get stronger, you get stronger, your muscles. It's not going to stunt your growth. And starting early is perfect because you build a great foundation for years to come. So as you age, all it's going to do is you're going to have denser muscles, you're going to have denser bones, as long as you keep the proper nutrition, the right amount of sleep. That's going to be the most important thing. So teen bodybuilding, or even just teen working out in your teens, I would highly recommend.